Previously on The Why.
This anonymous asks, how does GP work? And to be fair, it's different in contracts. I always kind of went with it was, I believe for the amount of effort and time and energy you put into being the hand-holding tour guide through the entire project for the GC and the owner and all the architecture, that's all worth something. Is that 20 to 25% GP was a fair margin to be at for all the work that you're doing.
I think there's a fundamental component there though too that we're not talking about, and that component is that there are some salespeople that have come to work for us that have struggled with charging customers what we as an organization have deemed to be the right price. I'll give you an example. So dish racks, currently buying from a plastics vendor, we've negotiated the full rate of those dish racks negotiated is $3 a rack. The average price on the street across all boundaries is probably running in the $18, $19, $20 a rack range. But if we use the same mentality in how we teach salespeople to do pricing using the gross profit structure we talked about, the problem is that if we use that same structure and we say to them, you have to mark this up 700%, they go, but that's not a thing. How do I do that? So we market rate cost, we inflate the real cost in the system to protect the salespeople from themselves. Now, we don't do that very much. There's probably a couple hundred items out of 12,000 that maybe we do that with. None of them are as dramatic as that example. Yeah. But if we say to you, this is $3, they literally don't have the capacity to say, I'm gonna charge $19 for this. They'll put, 45% on.
$3.90.
They'll put, I'm gonna put 100% on this and charge $6. Yeah. And all of a sudden, we've screwed ourselves with the manufacturer, with the rest of the distribution community. We've got all of our competition wound up to now go to that vendor and go, why are they selling this thing for $6 and we're selling it for $19 and that's not right? And we incite a riot in the industry. So what the challenge becomes getting the staff to understand what those pieces are and how do we protect them from themselves. Because they're going so fast and they're doing such a great job with everything else. If we don't do that, we're going to have riots. Not that people would riot over a dish rack, but you never know.
Well, and we can sit here all day because then it opens up so I said say 20-25% GP on a contract job. That's the average across the entire job. Right. It doesn't mean every single item is marked up 100%. Exactly. Because we might sell product X, we might get a straight 50% discount. We have no advantage in the marketplace. So I'm going to mark that up less, let's say. Well, on this other one, it's a next gen product or it's ABC or it's whatever. We get a 7-point advantage over the rest of the marketplace. So I should be marking that up 7% more than what I'm marking this up.
Right.
Just to be even. And then there's the factor, like you said, of reading the customer and feeling them out. I'd have a customer that would come in and say, I want to let you know, I'm super savvy about coffee equipment. I'm all over beverage equipment. I'm watching you on beverage equipment. And I go, oh, golly, okay, sure. And then I'd make sure that their beverage equipment was really, really low on the GP margin.
More aggressive.
And they feel super good. And then over here on the custom walk-in cooler hood that you can't look on the internet for, or that they weren't as savvy, if I brought it 7 points down here, I'd go up enough to keep that 20-25% average. Again, it was fair overall, but I'm not leaving money on the table and I'm not screwing up
Well, and you're selling a package.
Yeah,
you're not selling one-offs. People like
individual
to price shop and pick at the one-offs. Like line 37 in your auto quotes says that's too high. Well, wait a minute. As compared to what in the whole scheme of the project? Auto quotes gets used as a giant crutch, especially on the territory and front counter side, because what happens is, in an effort to save time, people will straight line the margin. So they will take and build a 10 or 12 or 15 line list, and they'll price the fryer at 15%, and they'll price the casters at 15%, gas hose at 15%, and the extra baskets at 15%, and that's insane.
It is insane.
You take the fryer and you price it competitively based on the fryer. And you take all the accessory items and you price them based on the value you're providing, instead of straight lining, because it's easy. And that's one of the biggest challenges I think we have in today's world, is that we're all so busy. We have all this noise going on in all of the channels, in our private life channel, social media channel, whatever is happening at work channel, and all the different facets of that. And we take the easy route. We take the easy way out. We go, hey, I'm just gonna straight line this. I'm gonna put the I'll mark at 15, I'll do that in the beginning, and I'll automatically do all that in my quote, I'll send the quote out. Instead of stopping and saying, what is the right price? How do I eat every single solitary percentage point or dollar out of the sale? And if I don't do that, I'm doing a disservice to myself, to my own paycheck, to the company, and truly to the customer. If you shortchange the customer on the value of those products, what happens next time?
Yeah, you don't have any value.
You don't have any value.
Yeah.
And now you're being compared against the internet where there's no value either other than price. That's the only value the internet brings.
And I know there was another question about the internet, but I actually use the internet as a tool to find my GP. Because if there's a product, I would often shop myself.
Yep.
I'd put a quote together, I'd set it up, and then I'd go through and I'd shop on the internet and see, can I easily find how much this, whatever it is, this refrigerator is, or whatever the widget is. And if I find it easily online and I'm a lot higher, I'd lowered it and then augmented it with something else. Or I went with a different specification that wasn't so easily shopped. The internet helped me.
Yeah, or you decide, gosh, what are my extra values that I get to add to that refrigerator?
To then explain.
To explain why we deserve more than what the internet gets. That's one of the biggest challenges that we have. We're not slowing down in this rapid fire world we live in. We're not slowing down and taking the approach of, have I priced it correctly? Here's another example. Customer comes and says, I want to buy these things. And you ask a lot of questions, right?
Yeah.
What are you using it for? What is your menu? What are your electrical requirements? Or your gas requirements, right? We do all this energy and work and effort, all leading up to the point at which we price it. And then what happens? We've devoted this much time to research the right product and this much time to pricing it.
I hadn't thought of it that way, but no, I see what you're saying.
The price is
Oh, man.
15 points. The price is $2,000. Is it $2,000 or is it $2,092 or is it $2,192? Can we get that extra $92 or $192 or whatever the number is based on actually spending some time thinking about what the pricing component should be, as opposed to spending all the energy in assessing and creating the right product? Then we're spending a disproportionate amount of time on the major component
Of actually pricing it.
actually pricing it.
Wow. I hadn't thought of it that way, but you really opened up Pandora's box of
really
selling
did.
here. What's funny is it started out as it's a pretty simple question that you should learn pretty early on in sales, but there's a lot to kind of unpack behind that simple question.
And I think we just even scratched the surface. It's so nuanced from one customer to the next. You can't sell and shouldn't sell the exact same product to all customers for the exact same price, because there's too many different factors involved.